Welcome in on the campus of Ashland University. It is the Great Midwest Athletic Conference Stunt Championships here inside of Cates Gymnasium. It is the semifinal round. Earlier today, the Davenport Panthers and the Lone Pioneers took on one another, with the Panthers pulling out a 23-0 victory. But here we are now, as it is the Eagles and the Tiffin Dragons. And routine number 7 has been called to start, as Tiffin will look to put an exclamation point onto the start of this matchup. A chance for Tiffin to come out swinging. They'll start things off and look pretty strong. They've got 4 spotters to ensure safety is the top priority here. Ashland cheering on that far left side. They want to see if maybe a team like Tiffin can pull off a high-level stunt like this. And that will be a pretty good showing. We'll have to see if they end up getting it. This will be very close. A reminder that when teams are facing against just themselves, they can get -8 in the deduction category. It will. So 1-0 start here, as Ashland will call level 3 here for partner stunts. So far, so good from these two sides. Looks like there's either no issues or very little. No major deductions yet. It's all going to come down to this finish here. Looks like that front group might be teetering a little bit for Tiffin. Can Ashland respond with a point? Listen to that crowd. It is packed here inside of Cates Gymnasium. Everyone looking to see a highly competitive matchup between Ashland and Tiffin. This rivalry has only grown over time. 2 of the initial programs first done in the conference. And where will this point go? It'll go the way of Ashland. 1-1, it's all tied up now. And it looks like we have another routine being called here for the Dragons that the Eagles do not have. So the left side of the map will be empty as the Dragons look to retake the lead. It's tied up at 1 apiece here for round 3 of quarter number 1. Tiffin, a very strong showing so far here today. And that is up, and that hits. That right group teetering a good bit here, but no major deduction. That would have cost them the point. So it stays alive for now. They've got to finish strong here with no other issues. She'll stay tucked to the right. Looks like it's a great finish, and there's the fall at the end. So it looks like this point certainly will be null and void. It would probably be a 0. So no points, as I mentioned. 1-1 the score. And here we are, routine level 4 called. And we have spotters out there for both of these two sides to ensure safety is of an utmost priority. 2 groups to the left, 2 to the right. Looks like everyone's hit here to start. This is a great showing for what the conference has in store on the stunt side of things. And the right group for Ashland falling a little bit there, but they're going to hold through. Eagles excited about the finish there. And the Eagles do get it. 2-1 the score heading into the second quarter. We are back here inside of Cates Gymnasium. It's Ashland leading 2-1 over the Tiffin Dragons, as level 5 has been called by Tiffin. They will see what they're able to provide here early in this second quarter. They obviously came out swinging, trying to secure some points against partner stunt routines Ashland did not have, because in the competitive head-to-head side of things, the Eagles secured 2 points in those opportunities. Here we are, spotters out there for both these two sides. Ashland trying to pull off this hard routine. Tiffin's basket catch on the backside. Looked to have been a little bit awkward. Glad everyone's okay, as things remain in shape for now. 2-1 the score, the Eagles ahead. And a strong showing at the end by both these two parties. So where will this point go is the question. And Ashland secures it, making it 3-1 now. They lead by 2. Level 6 has been called. So Tiffin continues to go with some of these tough ones. Ashland the same, trying to match the competitiveness. And here we are. Looks like it's 4 subgroups. And we'll combine into one ginormous one here at the end. Nearly every Dragon out on the mat outside of 5. Ashland has such a large roster. They've got nearly 15 on their sideline still, with the amount of bodies that are out on the mat right now. 3-1 the score, they lead by 2. Great flip there will be landed by Alyssa McLaughlin on the right. The flyers for Ashland have been kind of their specialty this year, replacing holes like Lily Boldman and Tough, but a lot have risen to the occasion. Denise Farnsworth has mentioned one specific, Ellie Dukes, who's center stage there, who's leapfrogged her way into such a prominent role this year. This point will go the way of Ashland. 4-1 now the score. Level 3 has been called here by the Dragons. Looked like Ashland was curious if a timeout was going to be called. Instead, they're going to get into it right away. Some of the younger flyers out there to the left and right for the Eagles. They've really jumped into that big role this year and been great with it. A lot of the bases and back spots don't get the necessary appreciation they deserve at times. Both these two teams' bases and back spots have been phenomenal here today in terms of avoiding injury and avoiding any sort of movement on the bottom side of different routines and stunts. All down to the finish here, and it's going to be great. Both these two sides with no issues there at the end, and no majors either. The conference as a whole, the GMAC, is really embracing stunt, and it is seeing the growth of these programs tenfold. This point will go the way of Tiffin. 4-2 the score. Level 4 is going to be called. Reminder, Ashland led 2-1 going into this second. And now we are into this 4th and final round before halftime. Can Tiffin get another point back? The left group falling a little bit for the Dragons, but they'll fight through. On the left side here for the Eagles, no major issues just yet. We'll have to see if they can keep fighting through. On the side of the Eagles, they enter into this tournament with a streak of winning the last 4 of their 5 matchups, taking down Tiffin, Michigan, falling to Michigan State, but beating Malone and Walsh. And where will this go? Both directions. So first time we've seen that here today, makes it a 5-3 game as we head into the halftime break. Level 5 has been called here to kickstart quarter number 3. Welcome back inside of the campus of Ashland University here at Cates Gymnasium. I'm Cade Krackus on the Great Midwest Digital Network. It is a 5-3 scoreline. The Eagles lead the Dragons right now, and we are on to jumps and tumbling as Ashland looks to defend their 2-point edge. Can they keep it going forward? Tiffin putting up a great fight here today so far, one of their closest matchups in program history. Ashland has not faced a team more than they have faced Tiffin These two have become somewhat of a common matchup year in and year out. Eagles looking to finish strong here. And this will be the way of Tiffin. 5-4 now to score. And a timeout called. Tiffin has chosen level 7. A very high level. Ashland call a timeout to regroup and compose themselves. With Tiffin taking that last point, they have a chance to tie it up here. 5-4 the score right now. The Eagles and the Dragons battling it out here inside of Cates Gymnasium. The score 5-4. A fall there. Well, McLaughlin looks like she's going to be okay as she gets up here. Ashland just trying to stay intact right now. Really strong finish there. Incredible to see her shake it off and keep on battling. Ashland continuing to try to fight through, but a major might have lost the Eagles a point. If that's the case, Tiffin will tie it up 5-5. And Tiffin will tie it up 5-5. Level 1 has been called. Ashland going down to the lower level routines, ones that they have perfected and know that they can put out on the mat and not have any issues with. Tiffin riding the momentum right now. Are we in for an upset here today? Five the score. Really good showing right now by both these two sides. Ashland seems to have no issues, same with Tiffin. It's going to come down to the very minute details, the small little shuffles of the feet, a slight movement awkwardly, and both these two have a strong finish. They will. That's a good response by Ashland. And there it is. Long discussion to the split. 6-6 the score. Looks like we may finally have our decision here.
The officials have reviewed and there is the call stand.
The call will stand after review. So it will be a 6-6 game right now as we head into the final round before quarter 4. So this is all of a sudden become a very, very tight game. It was 2-1 after quarter 1, 5-3 after quarter 2. And here in the third quarter, it is 6-6 right now. Ashland won the first 2 quarters, and if everything looks to be how it is right now, they will lose quarter number 3. This is going to be another very close decision here. I mean, with no majors and everything just being a lot of the nitty-gritty, I mean, that's the tough thing for judges. That's a tough thing to really determine where this point's going to go. Again, no majors. And after the official timeout, it is going to be a split point, so 7-7 is going to be the score. Heading into the 4th and final quarter of action. Could it get any closer? That is the question. We will have the next quarter coming your way. Who will come out victorious, Ashland or Tiffin? They've got to rally one of these two sides to a victory and head to the championship round at 5 o'clock today. Don't go anywhere here on the GMAC Network. We're back for the 4th and final quarter. 7-7 the score. The Crowns getting into this one as level 4 will be called by Ashland. Tiffin with 3 timeouts left, Ashland with 2. As we're in the 4th, a big time to use those timeouts. We'll see if they come into effect here down the stretch. 7-7. Partner stunts, jumps and tumbling, pyramids and tosses, all in one ginormous routine. A battle of technique and energy. Flyers tucking well for Ashland. It's Keeling to the left. So even with somewhat of a slight Sputter on that left group stays strong. Really good showing by Ashland and partner stunts. Tiffin the same. Where will that point go? Could it be a tie? We'll have to wait and see. Now off to jumps and tumbling. No majors yet for either or two of these teams. I mean, this is going to be incredibly difficult for the judges down the stretch. Timing for Tiffin might have been off just a very small bit. Pyramids and tosses, time to finish strong. Spotters out there for both these two teams. The right group for Tiffin having a couple issues, and it will fall. That's a major. Ashland's got to finish strong here and avoid any majors to secure the point. Momentum can shift drastically in the fourth quarter. There's up to 12 points that can be found. 4 rounds, 3 points apiece in each. And Ashland will be off just barely at the end. We'll have to see if that's enough. But that major to the right group for Tiffin should be enough to make Pyramids and tosses go the way of Ashland. We'll have to see where the first two went. I mean, these two teams are just on another level today, competing at such a high level. And I mean, the technique and skill has been pretty much on par with one another. There's been very little issues. 7-7 is the score, and we have the points.
For partner stunts, the point goes to.
First one will go to the Eagles.
Tumbling, the point goes to.
Jumps and tumbling go both ways.
The point goes to.
And jumps and pyramids and tosses will go the way of Ashland. So 3-1 there. We'll make it a 10-8 game. So a 2-point swing now goes the way of Ashland. They needed that. Can they gain a couple more? That's the question. Heading into round 2 of quarter 4. Try to keep their hopes of competing against Davenport in the championship alive at 5 p.m. here inside of Cates Gymnasium. Three groups out there for both these two sides. I've not seen any forfeits yet here in the fourth quarter of play. No majors yet, and barely any minors. It'd be for that back right group for Tiffin that there's a slight shakiness. I mean, there's very little issues between these two sides. The score. Here in jumps and tumbling. Again, no major issues. And a strong finish. And these officials are going to have such a long fourth quarter ahead of themselves, discussing every little detail. Front group for Tiffin had a little bit of a stumble on the initial toss and basket catch. They recovered well. Ashland has seemingly not had many yet. The finish here is important too. Looks like everything's okay here for both these two sides. No majors at all in round 2. Partner stunts will go both ways. The Dragons will get jumps and tumbling. And Pyramids and tosses goes both ways. So heading into the third, it will be a 1-point matchup, but a challenge going to be called here. So we'll have to wait and see if Tiffin has something up their sleeve that they want something changed. And it might be the timings for Pyramids and tosses. We'll have to wait and see. So the challenge by Tiffin, Not hit. So it will remain a 12-11 game here with, I think, level 6 called. And no one will be doing partner stunts level 6. So it looks like Ashland's going to try to negate the possible points that Tiffin could score. And the Dragons might face themselves in jumps and tumbling too, which is an interesting decision, because the thing is that if you're competing against if Ashland goes out on the mat for jumps and tumbling and competes against Tiffin, they're just competing to have less deductions than the Dragons, where if the Dragons are facing themselves, it's 8-point deductions or less. So actually they will compete, so it'll be those two entering the mat here for jumps and tumbling. Some strategy involved down the stretch here. No one in partner stunts, but here we are in jumps and tumbling. And pyramids and tosses will follow. Still a 1-point difference. 12-11 the score right now. Into pyramids and tosses. 2 points available here in this third round. If Ashland secures both and Tiffin does not secure any, they'd have to sweep all the points in the fourth round, and that will be a major deduction. This point will go the way of Tiffin from pyramids and tosses, which means if they don't win quarter three's jumps and tumbling, this game could go the way of Tiffin heading into round 4. No points for partner stunts. Jumps and tumbling will be the way of Tiffin. And the last one will go to both directions, which means it is a 13-13 game heading into round 4. Level 7 has been called. Tiffin's got to go big or go home. Competing against themselves here for partner stunts. They'll start off strong here, trying to avoid any sort of issues. Reminder, they scored 2 points due to forfeits in jumps and tumbling in quarter 3. Some small issues there on the foot grab, but everything else looks to be intact for Tiffin. 13-13. And now into jumps and tumbling. Ashland needs to be perfect down the stretch. A fall to the right group, and Ashland's excited about it because that's a major. The Eagles might be able to secure jumps and tumbling. They might have it. Partner stunts will be the way of Tiffin. And jumps and tumbling goes the way of the Eagles. We are headed to overtime. 14-14. And here we are. Time for it. The judges will pick level 3, and that's where we will begin. Partner stunts, jumps and tumbling, pyramids and tosses. In overtime, 14 all. And the whistle blows. We will begin. No majors yet, which is great for both these two sides. That front group, a couple small issues for Tiffin. Everything else outside of that, Ashland has been great at partner stunts here today. They won the first 2-1. No majors here either. Tiffin's won a lot of these jumps and tumbling routines where they've gotten really good. Pyramids and tosses onto this. 14-14. 3 points available. Timing going to be a big thing the judges look at here. The officials trying to make sure that they get these points right. Down to the finish. Tiffin gave it their best, so did Ashland. 3 points available. Minor, you don't want to miss this part right here. Partner stunts, Ashland will secure it. Tiffin needs one by themselves. They will. Where will pyramids and tosses go? Ashland's won it off pyramids and tosses. They can't challenge in overtime, and that is it. Reigning defending champions, they move on to the GMAC championship. What a showing. What a hardy battle between these two sides. Actually incredible.